And good morning and welcome to VSA Capital 5-Minute Morning Miner on Monday, the 13th of December. And we're back to working from home, but you can party as much as you want. Is that what you're doing, Paul?
Well, no, I'm not partying as I want, but still, I'm not going to let it restrict me perhaps as much as some might wish to. So.
There you go. We'll see. Anyway, moving on to, we are actually sort of pretty much wound down now, I think, for Christmas, but we'll keep the 5-minute morning miner going for the rest of this week. But we could all do with a bit of a break because there's been so much money raising. And talking of money raising, I mean, a stock on the ASX that we really like, Firefinch, they've just raised 100 million Aussie dollars, which is a huge sum for an exploration company, basically, isn't it?
Well, it's actually a production company now, but because it operates the Marilla gold mine in Mali. But yes, that kind of number, 100 million for what is a junior player in essentially that had just begun activities in the mining space hardly 2 years ago. That is a really big sum of money, yes.
Yeah, of course, they were one of the presenters at the Beijing conference we do with the Shanghai Mining Club, so we have a lot of time for Firefinch. But again, it's also interesting, I think, that, gold and lithium in West Africa is definitely hotting up, isn't it? And we've talked quite a lot in this podcast before with what was the old Iron Ridge resources, but of course now it's Atlantic Lithium. And I know that obviously Firefinch, you would correct me if I got it wrong, but one is in Ghana and one is in Mali, but they obviously have to go to the same seaport. There's potentially, a relationship to be had there, isn't there?
There would be synergies, particularly I think concerning transport of goods and services, and there is another spodumene deposit up there adjoining Goulamina up in Mali as well. So all three of those are big size deposits. So there are synergies to be had if they can cooperate on various development plans.
And it becomes a big lithium producer for Africa, which is required, I think. Okay. What else would you like to mention this morning, Paul?
Well, let's get into something here that, for instance, staying on the lithium space, we had the Amsterdam listed AMG Advanced Metallurgical Group. It's not a well followed name here in Europe, but it is actually a global player in battery chemicals and various commodity minerals, including lithium, where they have an operating mine down in Brazil. In this case, they've increased their earnings guidance for 2022 because of the favorable marketplace here, such that they think that EBITDA will be in excess of $175 million, whereas they had expected something above 150 before, and that they are going to put all of their lithium assets into a separate entity going forward, including a German hydroxide processing plants. So they're definitely seeing the good news here in the lithium space too.
Yeah, look, I mean, lithium obviously has been a hot commodity this year. We've seen lithium stocks go through the roof. You'd have to say that, it probably won't be quite so exciting in 2022. But, there's no question of doubt that there is still a supply-demand imbalance in lithium. So it's still going to be exciting, just probably not quite as exciting. We also had, I think, the ASX listed Gallon Lithium. They just started a little pilot plant, haven't they, as well? They're another Shanghai Mining Club member.
Yes, they're actually in preparation to start that pilot plant where they're getting the ponds under construction now, as well as establishing a more permanent camp out there on Hombre Muerto West in Argentina. In order to get that development underway. They had recently raised the cash in order to fully finance the pre-feasibility study, so they're just getting on with it here.
That's what you've got to do sometimes, isn't it? Now, I think you're quite excited, Paul, aren't you, about a massive blue sapphire?
You talk about a massive blue sapphire. I looked up the picture of it here, and I think I supplied one to you. And it is a true boulder, that's for sure. 310 kilograms, and it is a gem quality stone as well. Not particularly clear from what you can see in the rough at this point because it is rough, but it is a true boulder of this size here, being massive, massive stone found in Sri Lanka.
Who found it?
It was apparently just some artisanal miners that had come across it here.
Lucky them. I'll keep looking in my garden, but I don't think I'll find them. All right. Anything else you want to quickly mention, Paul?
Yeah, I like good discoveries and good drill holes here. And Rumble Resources, the ASX listed lead zinc explorer out in Australia, they have found yet another deposit on their Irhiti lead zinc property. They're looking at sediment hosted or carbonate hosted lead zinc deposits, of which they've already found ones like Chinook. And this new find they've called Tonka, which has a smaller footprint, but it's the same style of mineralization and has grades near surface of about 4% lead and zinc across 10 meters, for example.
You've always liked a good assay result. It's all happening down on the ASX. And actually, the ASX is pretty bubbly. There's a lot of money down there flying into companies. So there we go. All right, we'll call it a day there, Paul, and speak again tomorrow.
Very good. See you then.